I am talking.
Rob Lewis music and stuff. Say it loud, say it loud, say it loud. Rob Lewis music and stuff. Hit that play. Rob Lewis music and stuff. One more time, never enough.
Hello, welcome to Music and Stuff. I'm Rob Lewis, and today is Who's Day Tuesday, and we've finally reached it this week, reviewing Doctor Who Series 5 by Stephen Moffat, starring Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor with Karen Gillan as Amy Pond. Well, where do I start? First aired on April the 3rd, 2010. We had a quick glimpse of Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor at the end of Time. David Tennant had gone, he didn't want to go, he regenerated, and then we got Matt Smith, and I have to say I was hooked from that very short scene. Matt Smith, I've made no secret on this channel that I think Matt Smith is my favourite Doctor. My maybe not my favourite actor to play the Doctor, but my favourite Doctor. The 11th Doctor is my favourite incarnation. He played it with such... I mean, he was the youngest guy to play the role at 29 when he landed the role. 26, sorry, because Peter Davison was previously the youngest. But he absolutely nailed it. This young face, but portraying such age and wisdom, but also the clown, just absolutely nailed it. Being awkward in social circles, also being the cleverest person in the room, but so unable to read social cues. So yeah, I will talk more about the 11th Doctor as these videos go along. But yeah, so Stephen Moffat had just taken over as showrunner from Russell T Davies, and you've got to imagine the task that this team had ahead of them. So you just had Russell T Davies with David Tennant, such a popular combination, and considering the BBC were considering axing Doctor Who when David Tennant left and Russell T Davies, because they thought no one would watch. You try and think of the pressure that Matt Smith and Stephen Moffat and everyone else on the crew had to do, the pressure that they had hanging over them, the responsibility that they absolutely had to live up to, at the least live up to what had come before. And did they manage it? In my opinion, they surpassed it, and I'm not the only one that thinks like that. So the first episode, the 11th hour, cleverly titled, an extended length episode, was broadcast on April the 3rd, 2010. A newly regenerated 11th Doctor crash lands into the garden of Amelia Pond, young girl, and he's having a bit of a weird time with the regeneration. She invites him in. He needs something to eat. Tries an apple. No, doesn't like an apple. Eggs, didn't like that. Bacon, no. Beans, didn't like any of that stuff. Ended up choosing fish fingers and custard. Fish fingers and custard. So I tried this. My son was 6. Was he 6? 5 or 6 when this episode aired, and he loved the 11th Doctor. And we decided one day that we would try fish fingers and custard. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But Do you know what? I'm tempted to do it again for the channel. What do you reckon? If I can get 10 likes on this video, I will eat fish fingers and custard for this channel. Or should I just do it anyway? Let me know in the comments if you think I should. It was revolting. Absolutely revolting. And it turns out Matt Smith wasn't actually eating fish fingers and custard anyway. It was fake. But what's an opening episode? And then he says he'd be back in 5 minutes, gets back in the TARDIS, comes back again, but like 12 years have passed. So 12 years, maybe even more than that. And Amelia is now Amy Pond, and she's dressed as a police officer. She's actually a kissogram. I'm not going to give too many spoilers, but Matt Smith absolutely owns the character in this episode. As I said before, they didn't just equal what had come before. I think they surpassed it. The task, they absolutely understood the assignment. And some people don't think the 11th Hour is the best episode. Possibly not, but it's the best episode with a new Doctor in, I believe. Nothing comes close. And then he chooses his costume because he's still walking around in the 10th Doctor's shirt and tie and trainers. And then you see him at the end and he makes the big speech about I'm the Doctor. And that's when we hear the first beats of I Am the Doctor by Murray Gold. And I haven't really talked about Murray Gold in these videos much. Considering I'm a musician, I haven't really spoken much about Murray Gold, but jeez, that man knows how to write good music. That I Am the Doctor is one of the greatest works of music I think ever. It is fantastic, absolutely suited to the 11th Doctor, works so well, sends you chills down your spine when you get that. So that's episode 1. I'm going to give the 11th Hour, I'd love to give it 11, I can't, 10 out of 10. Good work. Then we have The Beast Below, episode 2. Not quite as good, but then, you know, the 11th Hour is going to be tough to beat. Set immediately afterwards, the Doctor's gone to pick up Amy, and they're going to go off on some adventures, you know, on her wedding night, or the night before her wedding, I should say, which we saw at the end of the 11th Hour. And they're on a giant kind of star whale. Not the best, but it's not the worst. It's a good kind of episode to get you in, to know who the characters are, I think. Oh, there's someone there wants a quick word. Yeah, what you got to say for yourself? Hello, Holiday Rob here from Croatia. Just want to let you know, if you're enjoying this video, thanks very much for watching, but don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and of course the alarm notification bell so you know when my videos are coming out. And yeah, if you're interested, I've got social network stuff, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, not Twitter though. And I've also got a Patreon, so you can find me there. It's in the description. Links for everything's in the description. And yeah, I'm going to hand you back again, because otherwise Studio Rob gets frustrated. Yeah, The Beast Below, written by Stephen Moffat. A great episode to really kind of introduce the characters more. So we really knew by the end of the episode who the 11th Doctor and Amy Pond were. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Then we have Victory of the Daleks. Probably the lowest point of the series, if I'm completely honest. Written by Mark Gatiss, who's a great writer, but I never feel that he does great Doctor Who. Which is a shame, because he's such a great writer. Particularly things like Sherlock, The League of Gentlemen, stuff like that. But his Doctor Who work isn't never quite nails it. Although he's done some decent stuff. He gets the characters okay. Victory of the Daleks, Second World War, the Doctor goes to see Winston Churchill, and they've designed these kind of robot things, Ironsides, and they're to help the Allies in the Second World War. Turns out they're Daleks, but they're subservient to humans. The classic line, "Would you like some tea?" That was priceless. Do you know, I could give it an extra point just for that. But then that point's taken away by the Spitfires in space. I didn't really like the Dalek paradigm with the multicolours, the Teletubbies Daleks. I kind of get what they were going with, but the overall look of them, they're so big and brightly coloured. I think if there'd been more, still coloured but darker, not quite so bright and clean. Now, here's a question that I'd like to know the answer. Maybe you can let me know in the comments, Who fans. The Daleks are always clean. Who cleans them? Whenever you see the Dalek on screen, they're always clean, but who cleans them? That's what I'd like to know. Yeah, I like the scene where he goes into the Dalek ship and he's got a jammy dodger. He tells them all it's like a bomb if he presses the red button. Classic 11th Doctor. But it's kind of let down. The trouble when they do these these stories set in the past, is they don't relate to now. That like we'd have a recollection, we'd know that, oh, there was these Daleks in the 1940s, you know. Oh, I get it, it's escapism, it's fine, but yeah, I'm going to give it an extra point for the jammy dodger and the would you like some tea bits, but I'm going to take that away because of the flying Spitfires in space. That was poor Doctor Who, I think, that bit. I can't let that go. So overall, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Now we have the two-parter, The Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. This is when we see the Weeping Angels for the second time. Not only do we see the Weeping Angels again, we also see the return of River Song, played by Alex Kingston. But we don't know who River Song is at this point. We know how she died, and we know that she's a companion of the Doctor's, but out of sync with each other. She's a fantastic character, superbly played by Alex Kingston, of course. But yeah, I don't want to say too much about the plot, but again, it was written by Stephen Moffat, they're his creation. And yeah, I think it's very good. Is this the one that starts with Mike Skinner? Or is that the Pandorica Opens? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so we get a little bit more of the lore of the angels. And I'm always a little bit fearful that too much overexposure of the Weeping Angels is detrimental. I think this is okay. Some people have criticised when we can actually see them moving slowly. I wouldn't like them to be overused. They're not like the Daleks. Daleks can keep cropping up and doing different things. The Weeping Angels, we can't keep rewriting their lore just to have stories with them. Use them sparingly. But yeah, The Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone. I'm going to give The Time of Angels 10 out of 10. And Flesh and Stone, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. I don't really know why. I think that's fair. 19 out of 20. Yeah. Episode 6, The Vampires of Venice. Now this was written by Toby Whithouse. And they're not really vampires, they're like these fish people. And It's good. It's a good episode. I've actually been to where they filmed it. Just this year, went to Trogir in Croatia. Had a look round. Didn't really have a lot of time to look around. We were on an excursion, so there wasn't a lot of free time. But I got some video, and I'm going to put it in a proper location video at some point in the future, because it's a bit difficult to know exactly where they filmed it. But I was there. I have visited. It's supposed to look like Venice, and in the show it really does. Yeah, good story. We get to spend a bit more time with Rory, played by Arthur Darvill, who we hadn't seen since the 11th Hour, actually. Amy's fiance. It's his stag night when we first see him, and they take him with them. Yeah, good story, good sort of mid-season story. 8 out of 10. Then we get episode 7, Amy's Choice, written by Simon Nye. Now this is great, starring Toby Jones as the Dream Lord, stuck in sort of two realities. They've got to work out which one is the real one. Very good story. Yeah, superbly played by all involved, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Good story. Then we get The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, written by Chris Chibnall. This was way before Chris Chibnall was anywhere near being showrunner. And I think he gets a bad rap. I think Chris Chibnall's not a bad writer. This isn't his strongest story. It's alright, it's entertaining. It does what it says on the tin. It's a Silurian story. Two-parter. I'm going to give them both an 8 out of 10. I think they're alright. I watched it a few weeks ago, and noisy. And I enjoyed it more this time than the one I did at the time. Little bits about it don't quite work, in my opinion, but it's fine. It's a solid story. 8 out of 10 for both of them. Then we get episode 10, Vincent and the Doctor, starring Tony Curran as Vincent van Gogh, and written by Richard Curtis. Richard Curtis's only Doctor Who writing credit. Why? Get him doing more. 10 out of 10 episode. Fantastic. My only criticism is I don't think we should have seen the monster. I like the fact that it was invisible, and I think it should have stayed invisible to us. I think when we saw it, it kind of took a little bit away from it, but let's face it, that story isn't about the monster. That story's about the characters, and that's why I'm not going to knock a point off for it. It's a character episode. Also starring Bill Nye as the curator at the museum as well, or gallery. Uncredited, I believe. But yes, a very, very solid story. Absolutely perfect in terms of the characterizations. I didn't want to give spoilers away, but Rory's no longer about. So, and Amy can't remember him. So Amy's got all that going on, and it's just very well done. 10 out of 10, Vincent and the Doctor. Then we get The Lodger, and this was written by Gareth Roberts, and we get a sequel later on to The Lodger, but it stars Daisy Haggard and James Corden, and the Doctor basically, he's aware of some activity going on, so he gets rents a room in this house. Come here. A little secret. Shh. Don't tell anyone. I don't mind James Corden. I think he's alright. It's a good episode. Another one with lots of character, and that's something that stands out with Series 5 to me, is the characterization. As much as we had good stories in the previous era, I think the character building and the world building we get with Stephen Moffat's universe is fantastic. We don't see much of Amy in this episode, but that's okay. But yeah, Craig and the Doctor really work well together. It's a funny episode, but it's quite dark as well. And then we get the season finale, two-parter. The Pandorica opens and the Big Bang. So we'd had the story arc through the whole season about Amy's wedding, Rory, the cracks in the wall, all of that stuff. There've been little things laid out, and it all comes to fruition in this final story. We see Churchill again. We see an previously unseen painting by Van Gogh of the TARDIS exploding. It's the return of River Song, Alex Kingston, and Rory's back as an Auton Roman centurion. They go to Stonehenge. There's all timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. It's pure Stephen Moffat. Pure Stephen Moffat, timey-wimey stuff. A perfect way to finish an almost perfect season, I believe. So many twists. We see the Fez for the first time. He wears a Fez now. Fezes are cool. I don't think you can fault it. It is just superb. It really is. A great way to finish the series. The bit with the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Genius. I think Stephen Moffat, when he was on form, was such a great writer. I have to say, I can't fault him. Not every episode was perfect, but yeah, and I've got 5 more seasons and a bunch of specials to go with Stephen Moffat. So in real life, we've just finished watching Matt Smith's tenure. We just watched Time of the Doctor. We're having a little bit of a break before we start Capaldi, but it's still, Capaldi's my second favourite Doctor. So, and I'll be talking about that, but not for a long while as yet. So overall, the series has got a 9 out of 10. Now I think if you said rank the series, this is based on individual episode scores added and divided. If you were to ask me to rank the series as a whole, I would say 10 out of 10. But that's the way the scores have gone, 9 out of 10. Have to mention some of the actors in this series. Olivia Colman, James Corden, Annette Crosby, Tony Curran, Ian Glenn, Daisy Haggard, Toby Jones, Neve McIntosh, Patrick Moore, Stephen Moore, Bill Nye, Sophie Okonedo, Bill Patterson, Mike Skinner, Mira Sayal, plenty more. Caitlin Blackwood, actually, who plays young Amelia Pond, who's actually Karen Gillan's cousin. Now the funny thing is, if you look at a photo of her now, she's the same age now that Karen Gillan was when they filmed it. She looks just like her. That's incredible. But yeah, Doctor Who Series 5, I'm surprised it didn't get 10 out of 10. I think Victory of the Daleks let the team down on that one. Otherwise, I think he would have got 9.5 at least. But yeah, fantastic series. Maybe my favourite series. I don't know. I've still got Series 6 to go as yet. And I'll be talking about that in the future. I'm not sure what's next week. I've kind of got out of sync. I've still got Torchwood Miracle Day to go and some more Sarah Jane adventures. But that's where we are today, Doctor Who Series 5. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of Series 5 in the comments and the cast and everything involved. And I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later, Bill and Ted.
Don't forget to like, and subscribe for more.